Welcome to iHeartMedia Communities. I'm Heather White from 98.1 KVAT, and I have a special guest today from the nonPareil Institute. Introduce yourself for me.
Hey, everyone. My name is Joel Schildwachter, and I am with nonPareil Austin.
I'm so happy you came in today.
We are so happy to be on here. Thank you so much.
So I personally have been aware of nonPareil for a couple years now and hoped it would come to Austin, and it looks like we're kind of on the cusp of that happening, which is great. Let me back up. Let's talk a little bit about nonPareil. First of all, what is it? And then we'll talk about why it's called nonPareil, because it's a very unique name.
Yes, ma'am. So nonPareil Institute is a gaming studio and a software company exclusively for adults on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
So what we do is we train autistic adults in all forms of digital technology, whether that be coding or scripting or graphic art, animation, 3D modeling. And when we train them, we put them into teams so they can build products for the market.
Wow.
It's fascinating. We also, the other half of our program is what we call core. And what that does is really train our crew members. That's what we call our students, our crew members.
Okay.
We train them in all the soft skills that are needed for employment, whether that be communication or project management skills or problem-solving skills, how to accept feedback from your boss. We train them in all sorts of soft skills related to that.
Okay, I want to sign my children up.
Bring them on.
Seriously, because, if anybody's listened to this show in the past, we talk about autism a lot. We always have the Autism Society come on in April and talk about awareness.
That's so wonderful. Y'all do that.
Well, thank you. It's kind of our life, and I think that it's nice to be able to talk about it. One of the most wonderful pieces I ever saw was in the last couple of years, there was a swim team, and the guy was a dad, and he was the coach, and he said, I just want people to know these kids can do stuff.
Absolutely.
And he said that, and I just burst into tears because I'm like, yes, there's so much going on. There's so much potential, and these kids can really, really have successful and happy lives. So I'm so excited you're here. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let's talk about the name nonPareil. Tell me about the name and why it's named that.
So the word nonPareil is actually a French word.
Okay.
And what it means is that which has no equal or unrivaled, unparalleled. And the founders came up with that name because when they stumbled upon that word, that's really how they felt about their sons. There is nothing else like our sons. There's nothing else in the world that matches them. So let's create something that is not like anything else in the world. Let's take the gifts, let's take the strengths, the talents of all of our guys with autism, all of our girls with autism, and build something incredible. And that's what we did. And that's what they did.
And how long has nonPareil been around?
We have been around for about 8.5 years in Plano. And then 2.5 years we expanded to Houston.
Cool.
Just because we exploded. Our growth has been insane. So we're at capacity.
Well, and the cool thing is, as soon as anybody hears about it who has a person with autism in their lives, they're kind of like I just said, okay, where can we get our kids involved? Where can we get our people involved in this? And so now, hopefully, the next step is coming to Austin.
Exactly, yes. So Austin has actually been chosen by the founders to be the next city to be open.
Yay!
Which is, it's fantastic. Like I said before, we are at capacity in Plano and in Houston, so we can't grow there anymore. We can't just enroll people tomorrow. We need this in Austin so we can make this a possibility for our guys.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Joel. He is an Austin volunteer and advocate for nonPareil. And we're talking about the nonPareil Institute and it coming to Austin. And let's talk a little bit about the events. You have a town hall meeting coming up next weekend.
Yes, ma'am. So May 20th on Sunday in Round Rock at the Rab House. Our co-founder, Gary Moore, is coming to town. He's bringing with him crew members or students that have been trained at nonPareil.
Okay.
He's bringing them with him from Plano, and then some are coming over from Houston as well. And they're bringing all of their equipment. They're going to be showing all of you guys what they have built and how they have built it.
Neat.
They're going to be demoing all their games that they've created, which includes virtual reality, which is phenomenal. If you have never tried that before, you have to come out and try this.
Okay. I've never tried that.
Oh man, it'll change your world for sure.
Okay.
And while they are showcasing all their work, Gary, our founder, as well as a couple other staff members, will be presenting upstairs in the Rap House.
Okay. And is the goal, you guys obviously must need funding?
We do need funding. Yes, we are a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay.
So donors are a big deal to us.
Well, and that's cool because you have an untapped market here in Austin,
We
and
do.
I know we have a lot of folks that have autism in their family, and they're affected by autism, and I know that pretty much everybody I know as kids is going to hear about this and go, oh,
Yeah.
I want to get involved, which
Just
is
being
great.
involved for my role as part of being this with nonPareil. One of the cool things for me is that whenever we tell people about nonPareil, they immediately have a name that goes with it. They think, oh, John would be so great at nonPareil.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
my friend's kid would be so wonderful at nonPareil. And we feel the exact same way. Everyone belongs.
Now, how did you get involved, Joel? Because you're a volunteer and advocate,
Yes, ma'am.
so obviously this is something you care about and are passionate about.
yeah.
How did you? What's your story?
So I got involved. My story kind of goes back a few years, probably about 8 years ago. A woman named Trina Sherman. She's actually our lead Austin volunteer.
Okay.
She met me kind of randomly on a college tour with her son who has autism, and then offered me a job to work with him one-on-one.
Oh, wow.
So I have been working with him, and about 6 years ago, we went up to Plano because we had heard about nonPareil and wanted to learn more. And we thought what a lot of people thought. We thought Matthew belongs at nonPareil.
Yeah.
But it's in Plano, so how is this going to happen? So we talked, we have to bring this to Austin somehow. And Trina's really been our spearhead. She's been the one driving this whole thing to get this in Austin.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So, coming from that background, so I guess one of the things that's really challenging is there are lots of services out there for younger children with
Yes, ma'am.
autism, but one of the hard parts is when they get older. Because kids, if you don't know this, in the public schools, children who are on special ed and have IEPs and stuff can stay in the school system a lot of times till they're 21 or 22 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
But then what?
Exactly. And that was a question that our two founders had also. What happens when the bus stops coming?
Yeah.
And that's a question that every parent of a child with autism has to face. What are they going to do? Can they be employed? Are they going to be employed? The fact of the matter is that 90% of autistic adults are either unemployed or underemployed, which just means working very minimal hours for very minimal pay.
Sure.
Not very fulfilling work at all.
And
so
maybe
what are we going to do?
keeping them from independence or even
Yes.
semi-independence,
Yes.
Depending on what the child or grown-up now wants. So how can we help you? I guess start by coming out to the town hall meeting.
Come on May 20th, yes. If you have money, bring us money. That's really the only thing that's standing in our way is the dollar. We have all the equipment that we need.
Okay.
We have all the training in place. We just need the dollars to get it all to Austin.
Are you looking at, do you have some locations narrowed down, or are we not there yet?
We are along that process.
Okay.
We have unique needs. So
Sure.
there's various things that we look for when we're picking a location. We do need 10,000 square feet at least.
Right.
Just so we have that room to expand. Plano and Houston has taught us that you need that space to start with because you're
Okay.
going to fill it very fast.
Okay.
We need a safe place for sure. We need a place with public transportation because a lot of our crew members don't drive.
Right.
We need a place that ideally is close to a highway so it's easily accessible. We also need something that's very safe because, as you know, as a mom of children with autism, it can be easy to take advantage of them in social situations. So we need a safe place for them to go.
Yes. My son, when he was much younger, was a runner. He would run away from school, run away from everywhere, and that was scary.
That is very scary.
My daughter is, I don't want to use the word clueless when it comes to someone taking advantage of her, but that's the word I'd use. So she's 17. And so it's funny because the layers and the density of the questions that you have to think about when planning something like this.
Absolutely.
However, the benefits are fantastic. So tell me a little bit about, so you've been 8 years in Plano. What kinds of things, what kind of growth have you seen in these people who are involved?
Phenomenal growth.
Yeah.
We've had certain stories where kids come in and they don't look at you, they don't say any word on a tour, but now they are lead animators on teams and they're building games and they're presenting their information to crowds of people, which is incredible growth. Yes. Statistically, 69% of our crew who have been at our locations for 3 years or more go on to full-time employment.
That's excellent.
Which is an incredible number considering that 90% of the autistic population is either unemployed or underemployed.
That's excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things that you mentioned earlier is that you teach them some of the soft skills. Can you explain that a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a program called CORE is what we call it. So we give them classes, small group classes, where they can interact with each other and they can be given social situations in an actual workplace because we are a gaming studio. We are a software company, and we practice that. It's very real world. And then we give them these leadership opportunities where they can lead teams and they can travel to other cities like Austin and they can present their work and be proud of themselves. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these
people. I cannot wait
people.
for May 20th because I think that's going to be the heart of the event is the crew members showcasing what they're proud of.
Yeah.
Because the world has told them that they can't do that.
Right.
But they're proving the world wrong.
So so maybe somebody doesn't have a person with autism in their life, but how can they support nonPareil? Are there games that you can buy?
There are games you can buy. We have 8 on the App Store or the Google Play Store.
Cool.
We have 2 on Steam.
Okay.
1 virtual reality game. But also one that's a little more accessible. If you ever go to a Chili's restaurant or Olive Garden, the Ziosk machine that's there.
Yes.
There's a game called Quiz Pop that was built by our crew.
Neat.
So you'll click on that game and the whole yeah, you probably have. Yes, the whole Powered by Autism shows up when you click that game.
That is so
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's phenomenal.
So one more time, give us the details of the town hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it open? Can people just come, or do you want them to RSVP? Or
you can RSVP. That would help us just to know what's expected. If you go to our Facebook page, which is nonPareil Institute-Austin, you'll see the event there. There's a link in the event. You can click on that link and RSVP. Cool. But if you don't have Facebook, if there's no way for you to RSVP, that's fine. Please come. Please learn. Please spread the word about us coming to Austin.
That's excellent.
Look up nonPareil Institute on the App Store. Download the games. Tell all your friends. But the fact of the matter really is that now 1 in 59 people are being diagnosed with autism. So the likelihood that you are going to know someone eventually, if you don't now, that has autism or know a family friend whose life will be impacted by autism is very, very real. And
you know what's great is things like nonPareil Institute make the impact different.
You're right.
Where before, even 20 years ago, I have a brother who's 37 now, and he didn't have a proper diagnosis till he was 16 because Asperger's wasn't even on the books until 1996, and he was a teenager and had been misdiagnosed. The prospects for him as far as post-high school education and opportunities were very, very small. So now I have kids who are growing up, and the prospects for them are fantastic.
Absolutely.
And so thank you for that. So May 20th, Sunday, at the Rab House in Round Rock.
Yes, ma'am.
Go to their website, npitx.org.
Yes, ma'am.
npitx.org, or search them on Facebook, nonPareil Institute-Austin. Thank you so much, Joel, for coming and talking to us.
Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you for your passion for this. I appreciate it, and I hope that folks will come up for the town hall meeting, and we'll get this here in Austin soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for listening to
iHeartMedia
Communities.